Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to Focus AI. So here in this video, we will learn like how to find the right key. Now, if you remember, in my previous video, I have said that k in KNN is the hyperparameter. That means if you change the values of k, the performance of your model will be also changed. I mean, it might change into a positive direction where you will get good performance. It might change into negative direction where you might get negative performance. So we have to find out the right K for the right model. Okay. So here is the step by which we can find out the right K. Okay. So strategy one is that we in the last video we have seen that when we have a whole data set, we have to split it into train and test, detrain and detest. I believe I gave you the reason why it is so important. But anyway, you have to split the data into detrain and detest. So one strategy would be like you pick a value of as a 1 and then train the data using dtrain and test it using dtest, and you will get some percentage of accuracy. Okay, so here the accuracy at k equals to 1. Okay, now you pick a value of k as 2, train using dtrain, test using dtest, and you will get an accuracy for k equals to 2. Same, you will get an accuracy for k equals to 3. Now this accuracy is the testing accuracy exactly, not the training accuracy. Okay, whatever the accuracy you are getting by testing on this test data, okay, which is our d test. So for different values of k, say from 1 2 3 4 5 till 11, you will get some accuracy. Now one thing to tell you here, that here just for the simplicity I have taken k as 1 2 3 4 5, but I have mentioned in one of my last videos that the value of k, it's a good practice to keep your value for k as odd numbers. Okay, because if there is a tie and if you have chosen k as an even number, then the model will randomly give you the output or the prediction. Okay, so it's always better to choose k as odd numbers. Here just for simplicity I have taken like a sequential number of 1 2 3 up to 11 and then so on so forth. Okay, so anyway, so for each value of k we are getting different accuracies or test accuracies. So now if we just plot it, here our x dimension is number of k and y dimension is accuracy in percentage or maybe in point. Like if zero point 0.8 is the accuracy, we could convert it to by multiplying it 100 as 80% accuracy. Anything is fine. Then if we plot it, we will typically get this kind of curve. Like the accuracy will increase once the k started to increase, and then after some threshold point it will be decreasing if you increase the k even more. So this is a typical, I'm not saying always this will be the same, but this is a typical nature of the graph you can see. Now what you have to do is that you have to point that particular point where the accuracy is minimum for the value of k. So here in this case the accuracy is, sorry, I'm extremely sorry, the accuracy should be maximum. You have to point out the value of k where the accuracy is maximum. That would be your best k, because on the test data that particular k value is giving you the highest accuracy, so obviously that is our best k. Now this could be one good strategy, but I would say that this strategy won't be better. It's not good to use that, because the challenge is that the model has seen the test data to calculate the k. So there is a chance the model might not be generalized. In my last video, I have said the main intention of machine learning is that your model should well perform under unseen data or for test data. So that's why we split the data into dtrain and dtest, separating the dtest forever only for the evaluation purpose we took. But here now getting the value of k itself is under your training process or your training phase. It's not the actual evaluation phase. We're evaluating, although, but we are evaluating why? Because we have to find out the actual k or the right k, the proper k value, right? So this is actually a training process itself or inside the training phase. but we have already used d-test to evaluate the value of k. So maybe this k is good, but it is actually good for this particular data set. We don't know for any unseen data point this particular k would be good or not. Okay. So then what would be a good strategy? Okay. So what is the solution? The solution is cross validation. So what is cross validation? So from the name you can understand we have to validate cross training data set. Okay. So now this is the point. D-train will be split into k chunks of equal number of data points in each chunk. So the cross validation we are studying here is called k-fold cross validation. Now don't be confused. Don't be confused this k-fold k, okay, with the k in knn model. Again I am repeating, this k-fold k and the k in knn algorithm or k-near-snare model is not the same. Both are different k. Okay, so what I am trying to say is that what is k-fold cross validation? You have d-train. Okay, you choose the k-fold value as 3. So the D-train again will be subsplit into 3 chunks of data. D-train 1, D-train 2, D-train 3, because we have chosen K as 3. So there will be 3 chunks of D-train. Okay, with nearly same amount of data points. Okay, now if D-train consisting of 1000 data points, so after k-fold cross validation, I mean k-fold chunks, okay, each of this chunk will be having almost same amount of data points, that is approximately 330 data points under each of the chunk. So now the strategy of finding the best k is this one. You take k value 1. Okay, now train with dtrain 2 and dtrain 3 and validate with or test with dtrain 1. Okay, so you are training with this dtrain 2 and dtrain 3 and validating with dtrain 1, and you got one accuracy for k1 and test data dtrain 1. Okay, so that's why subscript 2 1 is there. The first one indicates the k value and the second one indicates the subscript of this chunk or the chunk size which is used for, or the chunk number used for testing the data. Okay, so again I'm repeating what you are doing. You are choosing the k value first as 1, then you are training with different combination. First you try with dtrain 2 and 3 and validating with dtrain 1. You are getting one accuracy for this validation. Okay, validation data. Again you tried a different combination, dtrain 1 and 3 validating with 2. You will get another accuracy. Third, dtrain 1 and 2 validating with 3, another accuracy. Okay, so you are done with all the combinations of training of the chunk and all the validation of the training of the chunk. You get 3 accuracies. Now merge this accuracy or calculate the average accuracy. So you will get accuracy for k equals to 1 for the k value of 1. Okay, so this is whole one accuracy or accuracy iteration for k equals to 1. Similarly, you will be having for k equals to 2, then k equals to 3, and then so on and so forth. Once you get all the accuracies for k1, k2, k3, do the similar thing. Just plot k according to along the x-axis, accuracy along y-axis, then plot the graph. Again, you will get a different kind of graph. Okay, and you have to choose the point of k or the k value for which the accuracy is maximum, and that's all, as simple as that. Now here the main thing is that in previously we used the test data, then there is no meaning, right? Now we have the test data intacted, the d test is intacted and separated. Once we found out the value of 5, value of k, say here in this case it is 5, now we can use the d test for the proper model evaluation. Okay, so this is an important concept of k-fold cross validation. You are resplitting the d train itself to create some chunks, k number of chunks. Here k is not the k in knn. You have to remember that. Okay, so here resplitting the D train into different chunks and using different combination while training and validation, and then getting the right value of K. And remember, this K-fold cross validation or cross validation in general is one of the important concepts of whole machine learning. The validation data or cross validation data is important, and across almost every machine learning model we will see the use of cross validation. Okay, so this is how you can properly get the value of K. Okay, so anyway, this is the end of the video. I will provide this, I will share the link of this slide so that you can download and check again. Okay, so till then, have a nice day and happy machine learning. Thanks a lot for watching.